Do you like weird looking guys on the north side of Chicago? No, that's not an advertisement for my dating profile yet. Instead, here's 3 reasons to watch Code of Silence, a 1 hour 40-minute action movie from 1985 directed by Andrew Davis, set in Chicago starring Chuck Norris, Henry Silva, and a collection of, some of the weirdest looking dudes you'll ever see in a movie. It's no wonder I feel so at home when I visit there. And so the 3 reasons. For one, this is just a very solid action movie with a lot of great direction by Andrew Davis. I feel like he's probably not very well known as a director, but he had a great career. Most notably, he did The Fugitive with Harrison Ford, and he also did 2 of the very best Steven Seagal movies, Above the Law and Under Siege. And he did Collateral Damage with Arnold, which I thought was kind of a goofy self-satire in Arnold movies in the same way that like True Lies or Total Recall kind of are. I love all of them. And in this, he directs it really well. The man just knows how to film an action scene, and there's one set piece in here that's crazy, where Chuck Norris chases and fights some guys on top of a Chicago train. So cool. Which, and the second reason is if you love Chicago. Chicago was so fascinatingly portrayed in the 80s and 90s in so many different ways, and this is a worthy entry too. On one hand, you have the loving John Hughes stuff like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Home Alone, and then you have the fantastic Candyman that takes it completely in the other direction, and you also have the Blues Brothers, which kind of goes everywhere, or Michael Mann's Thief, which gives the city a kind of cool, aching loneliness that is so very Michael Mann. And this movie's a worthy entry in its own way. There's just a lot of great gritty Chicago shots, and it portrays a kind of tough, corrupt, working class side of Chicago so well. But it also gets crazy, as with the train scene or this explosion on the river. The Blu-ray release of this is really good, and the colors on it are reminiscent of a lot of the stuff by Robbie Mueller, like Paris, Texas, or Repo Man at times. And lastly, the dudes. Any movie with Henry Silva in it is of course guaranteed to have at least one of the weirdest looking guys of all time in it. He's up there with Jack Palance as far as guys who somehow look like weird skeletons despite being human. But I'm not making fun of any of these fellas at all. Like I said, it makes me feel like I fit in. A big complaint that my friends and I have with a lot of modern movies is the lack of interesting or strange looking people. It feels like Hollywood used to understand more that it's not about whether someone is attractive, it's about whether they have it as far as being interesting to look at on screen. And attractive can help that, but it's not the only thing. Movies are inherently just images and sounds, right? So including a bunch of, wow, look at that type stuff, whether it's scenery or people, can never be a bad thing. And that's all to say, Henry Silva doesn't look out of place in this movie with the rest of the cast. So you'll have at least 100 minutes of interesting visual content. But the rest of the movie is good. Chuck Norris is not my favorite action guy in terms of bringing emotional oomph to a movie, so this one grades out of 4 stars for me, but it's a solid easy 4 that's just fun. Definite recommend. Who are your favorite guys to look at in movies? Got any Chicago movie recommendations? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and please like and follow.